Mexico, the year 1927, a nation veiled in shadows and sharp with the scent of burning incense and gunpowder. The streets hum, not with music or children's laughter, but with whispered prayers and footsteps that avoid the eyes of the state. In these days, faith is more dangerous than any crime. The Rosary, once the soft ticking of afternoon prayer, now becomes the pulse of a clandestine underground. President Plutarco Calles has declared war not against a foreign enemy, but against his own people's soul. Churches are closed, their bells silenced, their doors chained. Priests vanish into exile or hiding. The Mass itself is forbidden, and to possess a rosary is to invite suspicion, arrest, even execution. At night, a family gathers and trembles, not at the sound of thunder, but at the quiet knock of soldiers. The land longs for mercy, but finds itself in the grip of fear. Yet in this darkness, a peculiar light emerges. Miguel Agustin Pro, a young Jesuit priest whose wit and warmth make him beloved among the poorest and hunted among the powerful, slips through the city's cracks like sunlight under a door. Born in Zacatecas in 1891, Miguel grew with laughter as both shield and sword. A saint with humor, the children called him, even before he joined the company of Jesus. His faith, shaped by exile and return, is deep but never dour. He is known for playing guitar at midnight and for jokes whispered in the confessional, even as danger mounts. Miguel's life is a dance with death, but never despair. Forced from Mexico by anti-Catholic edicts, he trains and is ordained in Belgium, then returns home in secret, working as a mechanic by day, a priest by night. Confessions are heard in laundry rooms, Mass is offered in cellars, Vatican is smuggled to the dying, and baptisms are performed with the sound of soldiers in the alley. He wears costumes, worker, businessman, cab driver, anything to pass through the checkpoints unharmed. But nothing conceals the rosary always in his hand, tucked into a sleeve or cupped within his palm. The prayer is his armor, his companion, his weapon. Even as government agents step up their pursuit, Father Pro's resolve only stiffens. A Catholic priest is like a soldier, he writes, always prepared for the battlefield. He becomes a legend not only for his escape artistry, but for the joy he scatters among the oppressed. Where Miguel Pro goes, hope follows, whispers a mother whose son received last rites in secret. Her story is one among thousands. Faithful stew in fear, but when Pro arrives with bread, jokes, and prayers, hearts fortify. He leads secret rosary gatherings in candlelit rooms, a tiny flame held against a sea of darkness. Each bead becomes a talisman, each prayer an act of daring. He tells the story of Our Lady of Guadalupe and the power of the rosary to save nations, his own voice quivering with conviction. But the government's eyes are everywhere. November 1927 arrives heavy, suffocating. A bomb detonates in Mexico City, missing President Calles but striking terror into the regime. The actual bombers flee into hiding, but Pro's name, spoken by a traitor, is pinned to the crime. For Calles, this is Providence, a chance to strike down not just a priest, but the symbol of rebellion. Pro, his brothers Humberto and Roberto, are arrested after a clandestine mass. No trial, no witnesses, no defense. It is not justice that the regime seeks, but a public warning. Faith will be crushed, hope will be shot dead. In the shadow of cell bars and echoing corridors, Miguel remains serene, more radiant than ever. He shares his rosary with other prisoners, listens to guards' confessions, forgives and prays for his captors. One guard whispers to another, he's too joyful for a man about to die. He pens his last letters, blessing his friends and absolving his enemies. God's will be done. I die with joy, he writes, the script steady, the soul unwavering. November 23, 1927 dawn breaks, as a parade of soldiers and journalists are assembled for the execution. The government wants propaganda. Heaven wants witness. Pro is led from the cell, whispering Hail Marys, hands threaded with beads that glimmer faintly as he walks through the courtyard. The rosary, heaven's defiant chain, tightens around his hand like a lover's embrace. The sky is iron, yet within its gloom the priest's faith is brighter than 1,000 suns. Stepping out, Pro raises both hands, one holds a crucifix, the other the rosary. Soldiers line up, guns glinting in the morning haze. He forgives his killers aloud, looking each in the eye, unblinking. He stretches his arms wide, Christ-like, redemptive. The call bursts from his soul. Viva Cristo Rey! Long live Christ the King. The command echoes. Ready. A volley shakes the air. His body is pierced, but his expression remains perfect repose. Witnesses describe an uncanny calm. Even after the bullets, some soldiers hesitate, unable to shoot. Others lower their weapons, shamed into silence. The rosary slips from his shattered hand and falls to dusty ground, unbroken, a symbol, a miracle. Photographs are taken for propaganda. Yet when these images circulate clandestinely, then openly they do not create terror. Instead, they create legend. The vision of Father Pro, serenely embracing death, rosary in hand, becomes a rallying cry for the Cristeros, the hidden church, all who suffer injustice in Mexico. Mothers show the image to their children. This is a rosary that can stop a firing squad. Within hours, word spreads throughout the city. Tens of thousands risk government wrath to attend his funeral. They say the streets fill not with tears alone, but with the soft click of beads, rosaries raised, prayers sung, hope rekindled. Viva Cristo Rey resounds from every window, every threshold, from the cradle to the grave. Miguel's sacrifice did not end with his death. In the eyes and hearts of the faithful, his martyrdom leavens courage. Secret masses multiply, priests return to their posts, baptisms increase. Even a few soldiers, shaken by what they saw, seek out priests and confess, some even leaving the army for Christ. The bullet-pucked wall where Pro fell becomes a shrine. Rosaries are hung there in reverence, beads mingling with blood and hope. For decades, authorities try to erase Miguel Pro's story, but it becomes volcano rather than ash. Women teach their daughters to keep the beads close, to pray for courage and for the conversion of those who persecute them. The rosary, from relic to secret weapon, is again lifted during times of war and peace, as the sacred resistance that saw its miracle at dawn. In 1988, Pope John Paul II beatifies Miguel Pro, celebrating his witness as a lesson for the whole world. He fought with no arms but a rosary. His strength was love, stronger than death. The Church, the underground faithful, and generations of Mexicans, Christian and otherwise, see in Pro a model for holy resistance. The story lingers. Mexico, 1927. A bullet could kill a body, but could not silence a soul. Each time fear fires its rifles, faith can raise its beads. The rosary, strung from grandmother's hands to the fingers of a trembling soldier, becomes prayer and defiance. The beads are small, fragile glass or simple wood, but together they make the chain that cannot be broken. Imagine yourself now, standing in the courtyard where Father Pro walked to his execution. You clutch a rosary, listening to the command. What would you do? Would you run? Plead? Or like Miguel, would you open your arms to grace and declare the king who never dies? Every era faces its darkness. Laws against faith, hatred against hope, guns against peace. Every era needs its pro someone who transforms execution into miracle. The rosary stops bullets not with magic, but with the force of love and the willingness to say, death does not win here. As day turns to dusk, the memory glows. Father Pro died, but in doing so, made the rosary a sign not of superstition, but of rebellion against every unjust power. The chain of prayer binds together martyrs and mothers, orphans and exiles, saints and sinners, rebels and lovers. Each bead is a tear or a heart, each prayer a song older than violence, each mystery a door into eternity. For generations to come, Mexico's hidden hope pulses in every clandestine prayer, in every whispered Viva Cristo Rey, in every rosary tucked inside a pocket, in every grandmother's knotted hands. In every child who learns faith must be defended with more than words, sometimes even with one's life. The rosary that stopped a firing squad. This is not just the story of Mexico or Miguel Pro, but the story of everyone who suffers for what they love and are willing to answer violence with mercy, hate with courage, death with the promise that love always has the final word. When the beats fall, heaven listens. Miguel Pro, rosary dangling from his hands, laughter on his lips, dies but is not defeated. The bullet-pocked walls echo not with calls for vengeance, but with prayers for forgiveness and hope. The rosary is lifted to the sky again and again, sunlight, fire, mercy, and strength. May all who hear his story remember, faith may be outlawed, but courage and grace cannot be executed. Wherever there is darkness, let someone raise the beads, whisper the prayer, and let love defy the rifles again. He died with a rosary in his hand, and the world still hears his cry,